Welcome guys to another Porsche review. Today we're in a car that I've never driven before. Surprisingly, after all the Porsches that I've driven over the years, this 981 generation Boxster GTS is one that has eluded me, and I'm very happy to finally tick this thing off the list. You can think of the GTS model as essentially a Boxster S with all of the options ticked for a slightly lower MSRP. So this comes with the same 3.4 liter naturally aspirated flat six found in the Boxster S, but it's been tuned up just a tad by 15 horsepower. So this one makes around 330 and 273 foot-pounds of torque. The car weighs just under 3,200 pounds. It comes standard with the PASM Porsche Active Suspension Management. It also has the Sport Chrono, which gives you the sport button that enables the quicker throttle response. And it also comes with PSE, or Porsche Sports Exhaust. It's a lot of acronyms, and only the Porsche fanatics really know what all these acronyms mean. But if you know, you know. And this car, the way it is spec'd out, is a driver's Porsche. It is truly a car that you can drive on a daily basis, as well as have a lot of fun with on a canyon road or even on a racetrack. This particular car has the 7-speed PDK transmission. Thankfully, it has the sport steering wheel with Alcantara with paddles instead of the base steering wheel, which comes with those completely nonsensical buttons that you have to press forward and back to shift gears. So let's see how this thing drives and how it compares to some of the other Porsches that I've driven. We're going to be in sport mode with the PASM set to the firmer setting and Porsche Sports Exhaust on. Of course, we've got the top down so you guys can enjoy the sound of this flat six. What a ridiculous sounding stock exhaust. It's unreal. I cannot believe they released this car from the factory with this exhaust. It is so aggressive, so much induction noise, a lot of pops and bangs when you lift off the gas. Listen to those downshifts. This PDK is truly so good. It's so quick, so smooth. When I even think about pulling the paddle, the transmission has basically already shifted gears for me. I hope you guys can actually hear what I'm saying with the wind noise and this insane exhaust. So the 981 generation Porsche introduced electric power steering into the lineup. And I gotta say, it is nowhere near as full of feedback as the old 987 generation's hydraulic rack. But that being said, it is accurate, it is precise, it is perfectly weighted, just lacks a little bit of that texture from the road. Same brakes you find on the Boxster S, and they are faultless. The gearing of this 7-speed PDK surprisingly is a little long. I mean, the third gear goes to, I think, around 100 miles an hour, if I'm not mistaken. And it kind of does prevent you from revving the engine out as much as at least I would want on a back road. Gotta love that mid-engine rear-wheel drive balance. Oh, the front end is just so responsive. That is just insane. The power level, 330-ish horsepower. It's not a whole ton of power, especially for a almost 3,200 pound car. Surprisingly, yes, this car weighs almost 3,200 pounds because a 987 Cayman S or Boxster S is a sub 3,000 pound car. But the benefit of that extra weight is you have a much better built car in terms of interior build quality, the creature comforts, the overall level of NVH is much lower, and it's a much more refined driving experience if that's what you're after. It's nowhere near as raw as the previous generation car, but in my opinion, the trade-off is worth it. You get more performance, you still get a great steering rack, great transmission, fantastic engine, a far superior engine to the 987 generation. And also, this is subjective, but I prefer the way this car looks, especially with that aggressive GTS front end and the rear diffuser, which are unique to the GTS model. This car is truly a great looking sports car. Oh my goodness, this thing is so good. This is the quintessential modern Porsche experience that is just the right balance between the old school raw-edged feel, but it's also just a lot more entertaining than the newer 718 generation with its turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, unless you opt for the much more expensive 6-cylinder options. In my opinion, this 981 generation, especially in GTS form, is the perfect everyday Porsche. What I mean by that is, it's no GT3, it's no GT4, it's not going to be a track monster, but you certainly can have a lot of fun on track with it, and it excels beyond those GT cars as a road car. Back to the comfort mode, turn off the sport exhaust, and just like that, it's a comfortable cruiser. It's a good GT. No more crackles and pops from that exhaust, but you still get plenty of induction noise, as I'll demonstrate in a moment here. I mean, can you complain about that sound? It still sounds so good. Now here's the issue with the 981 Boxster GTS. In today's market, clean examples are still going for north of $70,000. Realistically, you'll probably pay $75K for a decent one. And for that price or less, you can get much faster alternatives, such as a C7 Corvette. You're actually getting quite close to C8 Corvette territory. But forget all that. If I had 75 grand to spend on a dual-purpose sports car, this Boxster GTS, or perhaps a Cayman GTS from the same 981 generation with a manual gearbox, would be my pick. Granted, a manual would probably add 5 to 10K to the cost, but worth every penny in my opinion. But this is just a fantastic driving experience, and I'm so glad to add this to the long list of Porsches that I've driven. Let me know what you guys think of the GTS, the 981 Boxster GTS. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.